North Carolina is facing a heated political battle after a tragic murder case involving a Ukrainian refugee. Republican lawmakers from the state's congressional delegation are demanding the removal of Magistrate Judge Teresa Stokes, who earlier this year released a man now accused of killing 23-year-old Iryna Zarutska. Zarutska had fled Ukraine in 2022 following the Russian invasion, only to lose her life in what police describe as an unprovoked stabbing on a Charlotte train. The suspect, Decarlos Brown, was freed earlier this year after Judge Stokes allowed his release on nothing more than a written promise that he would appear in court at a later date. At the time, Brown already had an extensive criminal record, including at least 14 prior arrests connected to weapons possession, robbery, and assault. Despite this history, he was released without bail. Lawmakers argue that this decision put the public at unnecessary risk and directly contributed to Zarutska's tragic death. Brown had also displayed signs of severe mental illness. Earlier this year, he was arrested for calling 911 multiple times, insisting that officers investigate supposed man-made materials inside his body. Even with these troubling incidents, the court allowed him back on the streets. Now Republicans are pointing to this case as evidence of a broken justice system that they say is too lenient, especially in major cities where violent crimes on public transportation are on the rise. In a letter signed by all 10 GOP House members from North Carolina, led by Representative Tim Moore, lawmakers accuse Judge Stokes of failing in her judicial responsibility. They stated that her decision to release a repeat violent offender without bail undermined public confidence in the justice system and led to wholly preventable harm. The letter also called for a full review of her past bond rulings to see if other dangerous offenders may have been released under similar circumstances. The broader debate comes at a time when crime policy is sharply divided along party lines. Republicans have repeatedly highlighted cases like this to argue for tougher policies, and even for measures such as deploying the National Guard to cities struggling with rising violence. Democrats, on the other hand, often caution against overly punitive approaches and emphasize reforms. For the family of Iryna Zarutska, this tragedy is deeply personal. She survived the horrors of war in Ukraine, only to lose her life in what appears to have been a random and senseless act of violence in the United States. This case now raises larger questions. Should judges face consequences for decisions that end in deadly outcomes? How should the justice system balance compassion for mental illness against the need to protect the public? And most importantly, how can communities ensure that refugees and residents alike feel safe in their daily lives? As this story develops, the people of North Carolina and the nation will be watching closely to see what accountability, if any, follows. Thank you for watching today's update on InsightPulse. If you want more in-depth coverage of politics, justice, and global affairs, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest reports.